Oh, hello, you beautiful, beautiful people. It is go time. 8 a.m., rise and shine. That's only in the morning. You're supposed to be up getting breakfast. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Brian Brushwood. Today is day 148 of Office Hours. That's right. Office Hours is the 5 Nation fandom check-in. That's where I check in on everyone from Scam School to Modern Rogue to X.com. God bless them, even the fine folks over at LinkedIn. And of course, the hardest of the hardcores over at twitch.tv/Night Attack. By the way, if you want the lowest latency chat experience, make sure to use Twitch, because then you can become one of these fine folks. Wait, nope, where are they? Where are they? Maybe over here? Maybe they're not over here. Maybe I'm live on the wrong channel. Yet again, this has happened more than once, I am loath to admit. Or it could be that we just have a chat problem. Regardless, or it could be that I have the wrong thing turned on. Nope, it looks like we've got lag. There they are. Bantarat! I snuck up on you all. I got there faster than you were ready for. That and the fact that there's 16 seconds of lag between YouTube. Normally, it's the Twitch folks who are in there fast. There they are. There they are. Yes. Okay. Oh, for a second, I was alone in the void. That's kind of on topic, given the episode that we just dropped, the walk and talk last night, about the anti-inflammatory magical powers of oxytocin. Oh, it's afternoon in the UK. Look at that. I am early today. That's awesome. Okay. Today, we are going to do one of my all-time favorite tricks. It's great. Some of you saw me revisit it with Josie. It's the trick that fooled Einstein. It is really, really great. It only has one problem. People don't carry coins in their pockets anymore. But I'll tell you what we have is we have an Olympic gold medalist in this episode. We've got the first time we do a super tease at the top of the episode. We've got a new sponsor in this episode. I mean, not for this episode, for back in the day episode, but it's the first episode where we got a new sponsor. We're going to watch it in its entirety, and then you guys post your questions in the chat, and then we will, of course, answer all of them afterwards. Here we go. This is the trick that fooled Einstein. This week, we've got a double punch, an Olympic gold medalist, and the trick that fooled Einstein. This diabolical episode of Scam School brought to you by the evil geniuses at Squarespace. Welcome to your first step on the path to double vision. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and so far we've given you the power of super strength, we've given you X-ray vision, now we give you supersonic hearing with the trick that was described to me as the one that fooled Einstein. Johnny Mosley, Olympic gold medalist. You're very kind to come slum with us here on Scam School. How on earth did you get roped into this shenanigan?
Well, my friends turned me on to Revision 3, and I saw your show, and I went in to talk with the Revision 3 guys about all kinds of things, and they said, do you want to get scammed?
And you're like, hell, I got way too many dollars in my pocket. Let's do that.
Pretty much, so that's why I'm here.
All right, well, speaking of dollars in the pocket, this is an effect that involves a little bit of change. Do you happen to have some change in your pocket?
Okay, yeah.
Because I got some over here, too. Wait, oh, don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. It's got to be secret.
All right.
It's got to be secret. I don't want to know how much money you got.
All right, I got a change in my pocket.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, now here's the thing. I've got, even with all the cacophony inside this, how often do you get to say that word, cacophony?
That's a good word.
It's a pretty good word.
Nice word.
Even with the cacophony of this bar.
Yeah.
I've got eagle ears, and I'm not going to claim that I can just listen and say how much change you have, but I am going to claim that I can tell you what the difference between our change is. Here, shake it up by the microphone. All right, now you do yours. All right. All right, now I definitely have more than you.
I can tell that.
Right, yeah, that's the easy part. Now I'm gonna try to take it up a notch, and this is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna tell you in 3 stages here. Okay, I have the exact same amount you have, plus 2 extra quarters.
Okay.
And I've also got enough extra left over to bring your total up to $2.35. So let's start and see how much you got. How much you got? You just smack it all down there. 75. So we got what? That's $1.03, right? So so like I said,
2 extra quarters.
I have as much as you have. That's $1.03. So already the first part's done.
Okay.
Plus 2 extra quarters, right?
Yeah.
And enough left over to bring your total up to, what did I say?
235.
235. So we got 103. That's 153. That's 203.
Yeah.
That's 213. That's 223.
Yeah.
That's 233. 234, 235, and a piece of lint.
You just could tell that by the shaking of the sound.
It's the sound. You gotta have eagle ears. That's not bad, is it? You want to learn that one?
Oh, I get to learn it? Oh, yeah,
That's how we roll on Scam School. We don't just screw you over and leave. That's real life.
I mean, I saw that movie, The Prestige, the other day.
Oh, isn't that great?
I know there's some like mechanical something.
All right, I'm gonna walk you through it. That'll be your $1.03.
Okay.
And I'll take all the rest.
All right.
And here's the thing. The key to making this work is in the funny phrasing, right? And I don't know if it's true or not, but the way this was described to me is that it was called the trick that fooled Einstein.
Is it a math trick or something?
It's a little bit of algebra.
I wasn't adding.
No, that's all right. You don't have to add. You don't have to. All you have to remember is the magic phrasing of I have as much as you have, plus 2 quarters, and enough left over to bring your total to 235.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. What if we just took the last 2 parts?
Okay.
Let's say you had nothing in your hand.
Okay.
It would still work. I would say I have as much as you, nothing.
Right.
Plus 2 quarters.
Yeah.
And enough left over to bring your total from nothing to $1, $1.50, $2, $2.05, $2.10, $2.20, $2.30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But you guessed that I had 103 to start with?
I didn't. I had no idea. It works no matter what amount you have. Here, pick any 3 of those.
All right.
He's not gonna let me see. It's the secret of the magic phrasing. It doesn't matter how much he's got.
All right. Okay.
Wait. Sounds like you got 3 pennies there, but that's all right. I'm still gonna bet that I've got the same amount as you,
Okay.
plus 2 quarters, and enough left over to make the total
235.
That's right. Okay, so what do you got?
All right. So I have quarter.
You got 27 cents. So I've got as much as you,
Yeah.
plus 2 quarters,
Right.
and enough left over to bring your total from 27 to $1.27 to 202 to 12 to 22 to 32 to 33 to 34 to 35.
That's crazy.
It
That always works.
It always works out because if you think about it as an algebra equation. Now we are going to get into that, right? Okay.
Let's talk about that.
So I've got X
Yeah.
plus 2 quarters.
Okay.
And some amount and Y, which will bring the total to 235.
Right.
All I'm really saying is I have $2.85.
Ah, got it.
All you gotta do is have $2.85 in your
That's
hand.
the total.
Exactly.
Everything in between is gonna
Exactly.
add
So
up.
I've got 285. But if I
Okay.
just say, I don't know what you got, but I've got 285, that's a pretty dumb trick. But
Right,
if I
right,
say
right.
I have as much as you, plus 2 quarters,
Got it.
and enough left over to bring the total to 235, you got a match and people are amazed. Do you like that?
Wow. You're good.
Good to
You're no
see you,
joke.
buddy.
No wonder they have you on this thing.
Next up, we're going to review and do some Q&A, but first, let's take a moment to talk about our newest sponsor here at Scam School. Squarespace has unbelievable software that makes it mind-breakingly easy to create.
Squarespace is really great. Use promo code ROGUE at checkout. That's right, ROGUE, ROGUE.
Jeff Canada's website, co-host of the Totally Rad Show right here at Revision 3, and it looks absolutely amazing. They've got a free 14-day trial, no risk. You don't.
What's funny is that particular website actually got named as a design to be inspired by on some list or other. That's so funny. By the way, Not Scary Steve, Squarespace maybe in a bit of or I don't want to say trouble. But I mean. The software as a service.
If there's one hiccup with this effect, it's the complicated phrasing of the prediction. You've got to take some time to practice saying it a few times. Otherwise, you're going to mess it up and nobody's going to understand what the perceived effect should be. Break it into pieces, take your time, and once you get it to where when you say the words and they exactly match with the coins, then you've got a miracle on your hands. Let's take a little bit of Q&A. Today's question is about a certain viral video making the rounds right now. User DLA72 asks, is this guy Brian Brushwood? All right, so this is the Russian roulette routine I was telling you about called Stigmata. What it is, it uses a knife, 4 styrofoam cups, and a turntable. The knife goes in the turntable where it can spin around, and then I spin it fast enough that nobody can see where it goes. And then I make my psychic selection, and if all goes well... Oh! Oh! Ta-da! Guilty as charged, that is in fact me, and it is in fact very much fake. That was a joke video I put together for my contact over at The Tonight Show a couple of years ago. I ran across the clip about a month back and figured what the heck, I'd put it on YouTube. Trust me, I never expected it to hit the email forwarding circuit. So that wraps it up for this episode of Scam School. We want to give a very special thanks to Johnny Mosley. Make sure to head on over to johnnymosley.com, or you can follow him at Twitter at twitter.com/JohnnyMosley. Don't forget, if you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. Any questions about this gag, join us at the forums at revision3.com/scamschool. Now don't forget, next week we have a very special episode. We're going to learn how to sober up instantly using a gas station vacuum and some duct tape. Until then, just keep sleeping it off.
Just to finish the thought on the Squarespace thing, there is sort of a looming software as a service apocalypse that people are worried about, where because everybody's realizing that you could have a robot do a thing, it's like, well, why am I paying X dollars a month for a website service? Also, Squarespace, if you would like to come back as a sponsor, then I'm open to your calls. So let's do this. This was a fascinating breakdown. First of all, Super Tease, that was new to say what we're up to at the beginning. And then I wonder if that was the beginning of like understanding retention graphs and all of that stuff. Johnny Mosley very clearly was there at Revision 3, did not know what Scam School was a fan of Revision 3. And I think maybe they did a project together or started a project together. There's a lot of programs that were on Revision 3, including Penn Jillette's program for a while. Get the gang all together, yeah. Oh my gosh, Magic 51, that's wonderful. You thought the video's real. Everybody thought it was real. It is, without a doubt. That knife roulette thing is, without a doubt, the greatest magic trick I ever did. I would say, not an exaggeration, 1 billion people got fooled. It was just small enough of a video to get scraped that it hit the forwarding circuit, and I'll never be able to track how many people saw it. It's in compilations of gore videos, snuff films. It's the whole world really. I went to a magic show on a cruise ship with my daughters, and in the middle of the show, suddenly I'm on screen doing this trick. Didn't get shouted out or paid, whatever. But it's like the whole world has seen this an awful lot, and you can tell very clearly. I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Faces of Death 11, yeah. What have been some of your best hairstyles over the years? True Man Fu, not gonna lie. It's that mullet. Let's see. Brian Brushwood. Look at this. I just started typing my name and it auto-completed mullet pictures. That's crazy. Oh dear. Oh my God. That's amazing. I forgot that I had done this. Okay. Quick side jag. This is historically, this tracks. This is some very Brian Brushwood shit to do. I replied to a YouTube comment is what I wrote. That screeching so-called music noise changes, figuring out what is being said into painful torture. Are you scam teachers deaf already? Your information is interesting, fun, and valuable for folks wanting to keep their doors secure, but you made it impossible to listen to. Wow, so much wasted effort. I don't know what I said, but let's read it. Hey, I'm guessing you thought that nobody was going to read your comment, and part of me is sure that's exactly why you wrote it. I'll also guess that you're not a media professional and as such, not really terribly upset over the production quality of a 10-year-old video on YouTube. I'm also going to guess that there's a few things going on in your life that have you so twisted up that in the moment you posted your comment, you just wanted to feel that flash of beautiful, seductive, all too fleeting, white-hot and slightly poisonous validation that washes over us when we exercise judgment over another person's art. That's cool. I get that. So I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is the YouTube comments of a 10-year-old video is not a healthy output for that energy. What a waste. You have beauty and art and poetry inside you. And while I understand that it feels fucking great in the moment to shit on something you think you'd have done better, throwing 1,000 of these barbs will get you no closer to the artistic output, audience, and platform you deserve. The good news is you've got time. Get out there and make something you like. Make literally anything you find wonderful. And I'm not even going to tell you that you got to write the world's best songs or poetry or some shit, because odds are the robots are about 20 minutes from being better at us at all those things. 10 years ago, Brian. Pretty smart guy. I'm saying choose now to never again sully your beautiful, unique, once in 13 billion years spark of energy by wasting it in the YouTube comments section. I appreciate your work, you could say. I appreciate your work, or you're great, or I like you, or this makes me happy, or thank you. Pretty much anything else is a tragic waste of both your time and theirs. Nobody is reading your comments, except for me. If you've already made something wonderful, then great. Get out there and meet other creators, build an empire, and cheat death by having your stories told long after your body's dust. Somewhere deep in your heart is a beautiful truth that, and take a moment to consider this. In fact, it's so important, let me start again. Somewhere deep in your heart is a beautiful truth that in the entire history of mankind, not one living soul has ever before spoken aloud. Wouldn't it be a crime if you never bothered to say it? Wouldn't it be an even worse crime if it came out in a negative comment to a 10-year-old video? TLDR, I'm betting you have a story in your heart and a burning desire to make the whole world hear it. Today it's being wasted on the YouTube comments shitting on our video, but what say we channel that fire into something that will warm everyone's hearts instead of just hollowing out mine. That was so good, I'm going to retweet it. I'll repost it. Oh, sentimental Brian. I bet if we check the time, it's going to be... This is an after 10 p.m. Brian comment. In fact, let me see. When did I see it? Yep. Oh, look at that. Just before 10 p.m. 9:53 p.m. That's hilarious. I did the one thing I'm not supposed to do. That's correct. But I wrote a pretty good little essay. That was a fine little essay. But anyway, to answer the question, we can close the loop on that. Is the best hairstyle was that mullet. Let's see. Images.google.com. Brian Brushwood mullet. There it is. When I first saw Brian's mullet, I began to cry, but Brian was such a gentleman, he allowed me to use his mullet to catch my tears. It was good times. All right, so back to the trick that fooled Einstein. Production notes. I'm a bit surprised. I was so excited to just get to the end. That conceit of listening to the jangles, I think is really, really good. And the only way it got screwed up here was I was so eager to get to the punchline that I didn't tease it out. The way you should do it is you should shake, 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 shake. You're like, well, I have at least as much as you do. And then the other person will be like, yeah. You're like, and I bet, so the question's how much more? And then it's like, well, I definitely have 2 more quarters than you. Yeah, 2 more quarters. So I got everything you do plus 2 quarters. And now we're alongside and we've drawn a frame around the very narrow question of how much more? And then you're able to exactly estimate it. And now we're in the realm of the believable. And we've left the by drawing a circle around it, we've gotten on the outside, stepped in, and now we're standing shoulder to shoulder looking at that very last part right there. What if they have $3 in change? I have wonderful news for you, not scary, Steve. That will never happen. And if it does happen, then you have experienced something far more marvelous than whatever trick you are about to do. Congratulations. There's discovery on the other side. Let's see. Oh, we got dangerously close to a C block here. We almost had him performing it, but instead the trick was mainly performed at him, not with him. But look at that engagement right there. Engagement is much higher on this end part, which brings us to my favorite game, Lock in Your Bets. Lock in your bets, beautiful people. Published 16 years ago. How many views do we think this one has? I've often contemplated, says Carl Winslow, to no real fix, of course, why it's easier for people to attack than appreciate others' work. I know it's because it's easier in impulse control, but to be a creative, a challenge. Yeah, so I think I can make this more approachable for you. Step 1 is a necessary but insufficient ingredient for step 2. So step 2, in order to create something good, you must first see how your slice of the world is broken. And in fact, let's take a moment. I think this was best explained by Ira Glass. There's a piece that we should do. You know what? We'll go to Big Nerve. I've got a collection of all my favorite tidbits in here. Speaking of which, I'm about to add a couple more questions, big questions for Big Nerve. I've got big questions for Big Nerve. Form Tools, Media Storage. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is the answer, Carl Winslow, is because the first part, the media criticism, is the first step to creating something good. And most of us get distracted at that first part.
Nobody tells people who are beginners, and I really wish somebody had told this to me, is that all of us who do creative work, like, we get into it, and we get into it because we have good taste. But it's like there's a gap that for the first couple of years.
Oh no, what just happened? That was exciting for a second.
I really wish somebody had told this to me, is that all of us who do creative work, like, we get into it, and we get into it because we have good taste. But it's like there's a gap that for the first couple of years that you're making stuff, what you're making isn't so good, okay? It's not that great. It's trying to be good. It has ambition to be good, but it's not quite that good. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, your taste is still killer. And your taste is good enough that you can tell that what you're making is kind of a disappointment to you. You know what I mean? A lot of people never get past that phase. A lot of people at that point, they quit. And the thing I would just say to you with all my heart is that most everybody I know who does interesting creative work, they went through a phase of years where they had really good taste. They could tell what they were making wasn't as good as they wanted it to be. They knew it felt short. It didn't have this special thing that we wanted it to have. And the thing I would say to you is everybody goes through that. And for you to go through it, if you're going through it right now, if you're just getting out of that phase, you got to know it's totally normal. And the most important possible thing you could do is do a lot of work. Do a huge volume of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week or every month you know you're going to finish one story. Because it's only by actually going through a volume of work that you're actually going to catch up and close that gap. and the work you're making will be as good as your ambitions. In my case, like I took longer to figure out how to do this than anybody I've ever met. It takes a while. It's going to take you a while. It's normal to take a while, and you just have to fight your way through that. Okay?
So in that case, that's exactly the impulse. Is step one is you have to see how you could do it better. And that is the first step. But it's a big lift to ask people to keep on going after that, to execute, to iterate, to be bad in public. And a lot of people can't do it. Speaking of which, let's do this. Let's go to BBpedia videos, BB Live Show, episode 3. We got to scoot it forward, though. It was a little bit slow for the opening. Let's see. Look at this. Here's BB Live Show, episode 3. First, I got to decide who I like better, Selena Gomez. We are 3 out of 4, and the only one missing, although we do have a star covering up Al Qaeda's face over here. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Now, the best part is, did you just wave away the star? Is that? I'll try that on this banner here. That's. All right, so look at that. This is the first time, I believe, Justin Robert Young joined us on the BB Live Show. This is concurrent exactly with this moment when this episode came out. And yeah, a bunch of baby faces on there. That's now, so Captain MG at this point is my right-hand man on the road. He's just barely showing up in the videos because it was early days of that. But this was when I called my shot. Look at this. Going out with a highly imperfect trial version of VidBlaster at 320 by 240, where you could barely read all of this stuff. And Justin also saw that he wanted to put himself out there. I wish the actor saying you got to work on your craft didn't sound so douchey, because it's true. Yeah, that's true. And the way I think of it is hopefully a little bit less douchey. There's no substitute. You got to do the reps. Anybody who enjoys success of any type in any artistic field that skipped doing the reps, eating the shit, falling on your face in public, whatever it is, those are usually the people quick to retreat into the background because they know they have a brittle foundation. And meanwhile, a robust, anti-fragile network, every performance is an opportunity to learn something about it. I think I told you guys about getting fruit thrown at my stage at a show in West Virginia at Davis and Elkins College. They did not like my show. And I had a lonely 6-hour drive back to, I think, North Carolina, South Carolina, to a conference. Couldn't even get a radio station. And I just had to sit thinking about what led to that moment. And ultimately it became a story of figuring out that I didn't take advantage of the 30 minutes of latent bandwidth that I could tell a story before I even set foot on stage. And so a direct result of that was that I made a 30-minute pre-show video that had word jumbles and puzzles, each one kind of aligned towards priming people for the idea that there's going to be a spicy, countercultural, rejection of traditional magic, skepticism forward magic show. And then that changed things, because then the shows got easier because that storytelling bandwidth got filled. Were they throwing fruit at you because they didn't like you, or were they just trying to spear it on the spikes? Luckily, they waited until I left the stage, but I had just gotten off stage being like, ooh, that was a mismatch. And then I heard a thwack, and I looked, and there was an orange and goo sliding down my beloved marathon timer that I used for my straitjacket countdown escape. A little from column A, a little bit of column B. Yeah, man. It does suck. It is hard to do the reps. It is hard to do the reps in public. It is hard to do the reps on purpose and in a place where folks like that person, who probably is a perfectly fine, intelligent person in the rest of his life, boy, oh boy, do people only work with a chunk of their brains when they're writing YouTube comments. But there's lessons in all of that. Look at that hair. That guy looks silly with that hair. He should have more civilized hair. So, let's close the loop on how many of you guys did a good job of distracting me. The trick that fooled Einstein. We had guesses at 33,000, 124,000, 45,000, and 50,000. I'm going to go high. I'm going to take the over on these. I'm going to bet that this one had a lot simply because it had that hand stab in it. And then that means, like, this part, this would be the first easily accessible way in public for people to say, nuh-uh, that's that guy from Scam School. 71,000. Oh, I was low. That's criminally low for how good this trick is. 71,000? Come on. Come on. That's crazy. All right. Well, then, despite my admonition to everyone that nobody is reading your comments, I'm now going to read all the comments. This is a little game we like to play. I should come up with a clever name for it. You guys should come up with a clever name for it. What are we calling this? This comment. Well, originally it was a compliment bomb, but we're not really complimenting. Comment bomb? I like comment bomb. I think Princess Judith had that one. At this rate, if this show gets any bigger, there'll be no one left to scam. This is my favorite comment. Oh, wait. I'm logged in as the wrong thing. Switch account. Luckily, the whole world has a short attention span. Try watching again this 12 years later and see how new it already feels. BB. Boom. Oh, and then let me give you guys... Okay, I already did. Good. The only time that trick wouldn't work is if their amount is more than 235 already. Yep. In which case, just keep a couple dollar coins on you as a backup. But nowadays, who carries coins? Okay, but imagine Einstein in Street Fighter. Love it. Because I have 235 plus 50 cents. Yes. Heyo. Heyo. A bit too easy to figure out, but still a good one to use on less bright individuals. Working it well enough to have small change. Honestly, I think selling the trick effectively is the skill issue to defeat. Question mark? Plot twist, they have $3 worth of change in their pockets. Whoops. This is for all the people who didn't understand the trick rather than the people who say this trick was easy to spot. It's a trick on wordplay. Thank you for this explanation. Sorry it took me 14 years to get to your comment. XOXO. Right. The email forwarding circuit. Jesus Christ, has the nature of viral video really changed that much since just 2009? Right? And it's even stranger now. The trick that fooled Einstein, 2 plus 3. Literal LOL. Pull out a deck of cards and do a trick on them. Sure. Be like, reach into your pocket and grab a small handful of change instead of all your change. Good tip. Just make sure you've got a few dollar coins in case they come out with a fistful or something. Scam school, meow meow. I'm just gonna start replying. Wait, why can I not think of the name of the effect? I keep wanting to say the Momdani effect. The Momdani effect. That's not it. Mandela effect. What if they have more than you? Just make sure they don't. Yeah, good recap. Doesn't always work. I have $4.75 in my pocket and it doesn't figure it out. Just keep some dollar coins on you. For the math-minded, if you're meant is Y and X. Well put. Okay. Wow. Sorry, I'm late. I am not fooled, and I'm not even Einstein. Yep. What if they have more than you? Gee, just died. You guys are all the same. What if their change is like $10? What if? What happens? What happens? No lies detected. This guy is a Muppet. What if the other guy? What if? How to win chess? Sure. You play a different coin scam. The deafening background noise masks any explanation. Is this intentional? Sure. Do you think you could put on that hairdo for the 9th anniversary of Scam School? I'll do it for the 20th. Okay? Yes, it's okay. What if they have more? You don't get answers. This doesn't work in Canada. Okay. Okay. What if they have? Explanation is weak. Thanks. I don't know what that was. There we go. How to do it with euros. I'll just think. At some point there's diminishing returns on these comments. It's all I can see now. And there's years of it. The dead pixels. I always got at least $20 in change in my pocket. Pow, 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 pow. Okay. All right. And then we did it. Congratulations. No one tell him. Thank you, Cliff Horn. All right. So let's look at the agenda for today. First, let me see all of you guys. Oh, shoot. Curtis Hoffman, 6956. Somebody solved the secret code. Somebody solved the secret code. Somebody solved the secret code. Good job. Good job. Well done, Curtis Hoffman, 6956. You win. Keep in mind, I do miss comments in the chat during this program because sometimes I go on a jag and don't get caught up. But I will see them in Cord Killers. That's what I meant it for. That's great. Yeah, James Colbot, you made it just in time. Oscar, Big Bird. It's got to be Beaker, right? I was Beaker. Where the future's being made today. It would be nice if people read the comments before they posted the exact same thing. Yeah. Hey, Cappy's here. I love this trick. And the mirror mimic one where you keep a sip of drink in your mouth to spit out. That's good. Oh, hello, Birdbanes. It's good to see you. If you missed it, hello. I'm Brian Brushwood. I'm the internet's older brother. I've seen some shit. We're doing office hours. That's where I reach out across all 5 fandoms. We're in the middle of the arc where we're going through Scam School, where we take all the best of the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street, and we extract what lessons we can in the days since. And we see what has aged well and what has not. We learned a whole bunch about production and stuff. And then now we're in the wind-up where we're about out of time and the show gets a little bit more loosey-goosey. And this is when I start checking the agenda to make sure that if there was anything else I needed to get done, we get it done. So in this case, boom, there we go. Hopefully that gets you all caught up. All right, so we got a new video. Oh, we did get to peek in on that BB Live show video. BB Live show, that was good. Oh, new video. We gotta check. I'm still trying to find the right title and thumbnail on the new episode. I did a short walk and talk, which with only a 90-minute production time. I'm really well pleased, but it looks like I haven't figured out the title thumbnail yet. So last night, I tried a few different names, and what seemed to end up the best was How Friendship Heals Brain Damage. And so this one, it's got the It Cured Strokes. I guess I'll do that for now. But we had 3 different, here, let's do test report, new test. Whoop. Maybe that's it. Edit time was 2 to 3 hours for a rough cut, and then another 2 to 3 hours to full polish. And so, no, not even that. I think total edit time might have been less than 5 hours. It's enough that it's extremely encouraging. If I wanted this one to be a silver bullet, which would be a brittle thing, I'm much more interested in creating a content storytelling engine that on an ongoing basis is able to churn out just content bullets like this. So now that this guy's up and away, we'll do another one. Judith, Princess Judith in the chat, brought up an interesting question, which is by adding the walk and talk element to it, there's an implied narrative that doesn't really pay off. But to be honest, I was just looking for a bunch of stolen shots to string together, and it kind of ends up being a story of Brian goes to many bars and then ends up in front of a police car. It's just kind of funny. But the best version of these would have it would all be walk and talk, and then I would turn the corner and there would be a giant stage out there or something. I only bought I think we talked about this yesterday. We only did the 2 locations. When you choose the ABC title to keep, does it merge the view and comments from the other 2? Yeah, that's right now they allow you to be pretty sloppy, where it's like you could do 3 totally different, like this thumbnail and this wildly different title. So you really want to only change one variable at a time. But the window where the YouTube algorithm gives you a boost to see how it's gonna go is very, very short. That's certainly the story we're telling. Brian is constantly on the road shifting. And although that's close enough to how it is being on tour at airports, have I ever had a video content strike for content to match your own content? You mean content ID? I've never had a content strike. I've had multiple things get content ID'd, and some of them I pushed back and they were able to fix it. Others of them, what was a bummer was having fully 1/3 of the Modern Rogue catalog retroactively get demonetized simply because the company that we bought music from got sold to another company that couldn't be bothered to claim things correctly. And for those of you guys who, I don't know where the meta's at in Brian's either a genius or a dipshit for making his own music with AI tracks, but I know for sure that the reason I do it is because I no longer trust third-party licensors to do their job, because in this case, tried playing by all the rules and have the rug yanked out from underneath you. It was deeply frustrating. So now I make sure that I could just, I made this, whatever. All I know is that there's only one of it and it's on my channel. Hey, Earth56, congratulations. You earned your diamond wings. That means when you show up at one of the live events, flash me that sigil and I'll know you're a real one. Unfortunately, Earth56, we're just about to wrap up. We have one very important thing to do, though. So we got the new video. By the way, shouts out. Don't forget, today we've got Cord Killers and Great Night Attack NSFW live show. And there we go. That's great. Okay, so here's what I am. Oh, call Ryer Appledorn. This is very important.
Hello.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday on the live stream. Happy birthday. The mall is back.
Well, thank you. You remembered. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I had it. I do it. I'm so mad of all the crimes that Mark Zuckerberg has committed. The worst is taking away me being awesome for always writing people's birthdays in my calendar. Once he made that a trite, cliched thing that everybody remembers everybody's birthday and everybody clicks the perfunctory party hat button, that's a real crime, because having somebody genuinely remember that shit is dope.
It is dope. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, right on, man. All right. Well, here, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Do you have any well wishes? You want to give an acceptance speech? I just saw the best acceptance speech in all of history. Did you ever see Fiona Apple's MTV Music Awards speech?
No, I didn't see Fiona Apple's MTV Music Awards speech.
Yeah, when you say it out loud like that.
Should I watch it?
You know what? I'll skip to the best. She says,
I didn't prepare a speech, and I'm sorry, but I'm glad that I didn't, because I'm not going to do this like everybody else does it. Because everybody that I should be thanking, I'm really sorry, but I have to use this time. See, my watching this world is bullshit.
So she just got her award. She said, I prepared nothing. This world is bullshit. Don't let TV decide what's cool and not cool. Anyway, bye. I'm breaking the system. It was fucking great.
Okay, wait. Ask me again if I have an acceptance speech I want to say.
Do you have an acceptance speech you'd like to say?
No, you know what? And I probably should, but I didn't write one because, I should be thanking the people that, helped me get all this stuff, whatever, my mom for birthing me, whatever. But I'm actually going to take this time to say everything is bullshit. You shouldn't let TV decide what's cool or not. Anyway, bye.
Wow, that's all he did. That was the best acceptance speech we've ever had on the live stream. That's amazing. I'm not going to top that. It is criminal to have not seen Fiona Apple's acceptance speech. All right. Okay, guys, look, I got to flip over and record some World's Greatest Con. You guys are the best people on the planet, and I will see you guys later on today for Cord Killers and, of course, Great Night Attack Live NSFW show coming up. We'll see you guys.